Have you ever considered how the universe, with all its vastness and complexity, can be described so precisely by numbers and formulas? It seems contradictory, doesn't it? On one hand, modern science claims everything is a product of chance. On the other, there's flawless mathematics organizing everything from the dance of galaxies to the shape of a seashell. What if I told you that science is inadvertently leading us to a direct encounter with the Creator? Yes, the one atheists insist on denying, but whom the very logic of the universe makes inevitable. Get ready, because what you're about to discover might forever change the way you see the world. How can we explain such perfect laws governing everything from the microcosm of atoms to the vastness of black holes? How can the Fibonacci sequence found in both flowers and galaxies be a product of chaos? These questions not only intrigue scientists, but also leave skeptics speechless. It's as if the universe is shouting that it was designed with fractals, patterns, and numbers serving as clues to a creative mind. But here's the most fascinating part. This isn't just theoretical. It's real, and it's all around you. To disbelieve is like closing your eyes to a sunset and claiming it doesn't exist. In this video, we'll explore the most compelling evidence linking science and faith. From infinite fractals that resemble divine signatures to mathematical laws that challenge randomness, every discovery will bring us closer to a truth many try to ignore. And here's the biggest secret. All of this is right before our eyes, waiting to be understood. Are you ready to open your mind and unravel the greatest mystery of the universe? Numbers have always been more than tools for counting, adding, or dividing. They hold mysteries that surpass what our eyes can perceive. A fascinating example of this is the Mandelbrot set, a mathematical formula revealing patterns of infinite complexity. These patterns seem so precisely organized that they prompt us to ask, could a higher intelligence be behind this design? The idea that mathematical laws are not mere human inventions, but discoveries of something greater, is a thought that can transform how we see the universe and ourselves. The beauty of the Mandelbrot set isn't just in its visual appeal, but in the hidden logic guiding its formation. Imagine creating something as simple as an equation, only to have it produce incredibly detailed, organized shapes, like a miniature universe. This isn't just a mathematical phenomenon. It's an invitation to see mathematics as a language connecting the physical to the abstract. Just as a composer arranges notes to create a symphony, who or what arranged the notes of the universe? This question intrigues scientists and philosophers alike. As we delve into these patterns, we begin to understand that mathematics isn't merely a human creation, but a discovery of something pre-existing, something so perfect, it's unsettling. Every detail of the Mandelbrot set, no matter how small, fits into a larger pattern, creating an infinite cycle of complexity. And that's just the beginning. As we deepen our search, we find these fractals are not isolated. They connect to something far greater, an order that permeates the cosmos. In the 1970s, visionary mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot discovered something that would forever change our understanding of mathematics, the Mandelbrot set. This fractal is more than a pretty drawing on paper. It's a window into infinity. Each zoom into the set reveals details that never repeat exactly, but follow a recurring pattern, like an endless story being told. Have you ever imagined that something so complex could be generated by such a simple equation? This kind of discovery makes us wonder if there's a divine signature embedded in the laws governing the universe. The Mandelbrot set isn't confined to the theoretical realm. It has practical applications. Similar fractals are found in natural patterns, such as galaxy formations, seashells, and even the growth of trees. These universal patterns suggest a deep connection between the abstract and the physical. It's as if mathematics were a kind of instruction manual for creation, written in a language we're only beginning to decode. Who hasn't marveled at the perfect spirals of a sunflower or the symmetrical branches of a snowflake? All of these are fractals. Observing the Mandelbrot set evokes a sense of humility before the universe's complexity. Behind every detail lies an order, a harmony that defies randomness. How can such precision be explained without considering the possibility of a creator? What's most intriguing is that this fractal, extraordinary as it is just the tip of the iceberg. As we probe deeper, we find these recurring patterns may be evidence of something even greater, an intelligent design woven into the fabric of reality. Fractals, with their infinite beauty and almost supernatural precision, are far more than mathematical curiosities. They seem to whisper profound truths about the universe. Every pattern, whether in a fern, on the surface of a crystal, or in the shapes of clouds, reflects a repetitive structure that suggests intentionality. When we look at the Mandelbrot set and its fractals, it's hard not to imagine a designer behind it all. After all, patterns this intricate and perfect are unlikely to emerge by chance, right? Each curve and detail feels like the touch of something divine. Fractals also directly connect us to the idea of creation and order. Consider the growth of a tree. Its branches follow patterns describable by fractal formulas, yet each tree is unique. This prompts us to reflect on how mathematics, which should be cold and exact, reveals a creativity mirroring the complexity of a creator's mind. It's like an artist using precise tools to paint unpredictable masterpieces. Could the universe, like a masterpiece, have been designed by a higher intelligence? For many, this seems like a logical conclusion. Exploring fractals reveals their presence everywhere, from the smallest details of nature to the largest scales of the cosmos. How can such recurring patterns be explained in such diverse places? The symmetry and order we find challenge any purely materialistic explanation. Fractals seem like a reminder that the universe isn't just physical, it's also a manifestation of the abstract, ideas pointing to something beyond. When we think about it, it becomes clear that fractals don't just exist, they communicate. Their message, much like the laws governing them, is still unfolding. Mathematical laws are universal, immutable, and timeless, a true mystery when we consider their origin. They don't change over time or adapt to space. What's true on Earth is equally true billions of light years away. This raises an intriguing question. Where do these laws come from? If the universe is a product of chance, how can something so perfect and constant exist? Many see in these laws the signature of a divine mind, an intelligence capable of laying the foundations of what we call reality. Thinking about how these laws operate is like observing an extremely advanced software program. Imagine a programmer creating a system where all the rules are self-executing, needing no adjustments. This is exactly how mathematical laws function. For instance, the number pi, found in the circumference of a circle, remains the same in any galaxy or dimension. This uniformity suggests that mathematical laws aren't human inventions, but discoveries of something pre-existing. Structuring the universe with divine precision, these laws transcend the physical and reach the abstract, revealing the intersection of science and faith. Their existence defies purely natural explanations. Without an obvious material origin, they point to something beyond space and time, something with the authority to create them. The most fascinating part is that by studying these rules, we see not just numbers and formulas, but a language connecting the visible universe to an invisible source. And this is just one piece of the puzzle. What if the evidence in the physical world is even more compelling? Mathematical patterns aren't confined to paper or computer screens. They manifest throughout the physical universe, bridging the abstract and tangible. Fractals, for instance, appear in unexpected places, from spiral galaxies in the sky to the delicate leaves of a fern. It's as if nature is translating invisible formulas into visible forms, revealing a harmony that can only be described as intentional and beautiful. Have you noticed how even the shape of a river or the branching of its tributaries follows mathematical patterns? Coincidence or purpose? This connection doesn't stop there. When we look at the cosmos, we see the same laws governing atoms and stars alike. Gravity, for instance, is a physical manifestation of mathematical principles that seem to have been written long before any human existed. It's almost as if we're living inside a perfect simulation, where the abstract and physical not only coexist, but complete each other. This reflection leads us to wonder, if mathematics is the language of the universe, who is the author? And why is this language so perfectly comprehensible to us? Even more fascinating is how these mathematical connections are present in everyday life. Think of the spirals of a seashell or the pattern of a sunflower, both following the Fibonacci sequence, a numerical expression that repeatedly appears in nature. All of this reinforces the idea that we're not dealing with random coincidences, but with a system carefully designed. The physical and abstract are intertwined, like two sides of the same coin. But where does this union lead us? Perhaps to the greatest conclusion of all, mathematics as a reflection of the divine. Mathematics is more than numbers and formulas. It's a mirror of the divine, reflecting an intelligence that transcends what we can comprehend. When we see how mathematical laws harmonize perfectly with the physical universe, it's hard to believe this is all a product of chance. The precision of gravity, the speed of light, the perfect proportions found in the Fibonacci sequence, each of these points to a greater source, a creator who masterfully designed the rules of the game. Far from denying this possibility, science often seems to confirm it. Even more intriguing is the fact that the universe, in all its complexity, is governed by principles that can be expressed so elegantly. A classic example is Euler's formula, which connects seemingly unrelated numbers like pi, the number e, and the imaginary unit. This simplicity within complexity is like a divine signature, something that can't be explained by human logic alone, but makes us feel there's a higher intelligence at work. And the beauty of it is that we don't need to be mathematicians to perceive this harmony. We only need to look at the starry sky or the symmetry of a flower. This convergence of science and faith reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge doesn't have to exclude spirituality. On the contrary, it can reinforce it. Seeing mathematics as a reflection of the divine reveals that studying numbers and patterns is, in a way, an act of praise. It's no wonder many scientists throughout history were also people of faith. They understood that mathematics not only explains the physical world, but also points to something much greater. This leads us to a deeper reflection. Could exploring science bring us closer to the mind of God? Now that you've delved into this fascinating universe, it's clear that the evidence points to something far greater than chance. Mathematics, with its infinite beauty, is not just a tool, but a reflection of a higher intelligence. Think about how fractals, patterns, and immutable laws connect us to a divine order. Wouldn't it be amazing if, instead of merely observing, we started applying this knowledge to our lives? What if we used this connection to better understand our role in this intricately designed universe? Pause and reflect. Have you noticed the patterns in your own life? Opportunities, challenges, everything seems to follow an order we often understand only in hindsight. What if this order is also an invitation for you to align your steps with something greater? The answers to these questions may be found by looking closer. And here's a challenge for you. Are you ready to explore the infinite potential within you? just as the universe explores its mathematical perfection. If this journey resonated with you, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue discovering how science and faith not only meet, but walk hand in hand. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you found most surprising. After all, what you learned today is just the first step towards something much greater. It's time to join the discussion and use this knowledge to transform not just your worldview, but your very life.